people, welcome to my channel. In this channel I read out my Quora Digest. So the question for today is, why was Queen Elizabeth II's coffin not open to the public to see? Why was Queen Elizabeth II's coffin not open to the public to see? And the first answer I'm reading for it, there are so many answers to this question. So the first is from NSW Adams, and it says, open coffin funerals are an invention of the American funeral industry in order to sell more services to the bereaved. They require embalming, hairstyling, makeup, and a variety of other treatments to the body to make it acceptable to look at. They like to promote the idea that it's psychologically desirable, but it has never caught on with the British, who find the idea rather grotesque. Wow. Then the answer from NSW Adams has gotten 1.4 thousand upvotes. Now the second answer is from Cliff Gordon, and it says, because this is Britain, Russians do it, Americans may do it, but it is not part of British culture. I've been to a few funerals in my time and none have ever included an open coffin. Okay. That one got 1.2 thousand upvotes. Then the third answer is from Mira Dayton. I don't know if I got the pronunciation well. Lives in England. It is not commonplace in the UK to have an open coffin funeral. Personally, I'm not sure why anyone would want to see their dead loved one lying in a coffin as their last memory of them. Okay, that's from Mira Dayton. Then the fourth answer is coming from Stephen Gopi. He says, because we do these things in the traditional British way, the Americans are obsessed with open caskets, and even the Pope will lay in a state after death and won't even be in a coffin, which I find rather unusual. I have seen 3 dead bodies in my lifetime and I never want to see another. Now that's from Stephen Gopi. The next answer is from Michael Baumgartner, proud European. The Queen has been sufficiently photographed and filmed during her lifetime so that everybody who wants to know what she looked like can easily satisfy their curiosity by looking at pictures of her. I cannot imagine why anybody would like to see her dead body. That answer has gotten 35 upvotes. And the next one is Ricky Tak. He's a freelancer writer, polymath, and anti-communist. He says, because that is simply not how things are done in Great Britain. And the next answer is Alex Kalatz. He has a Bachelor in Arts Honours in History from the University of Sheffield. He said, open coffin funerals are very rare. IMHO almost unknown, in bracket. In the UK, I have never ever heard of one happening, perhaps because we do not usually go in for full embalming and funerals often take place as much as 3 weeks after death. It would, I think, what is it trying to write here? Well, let me read it as it is. Maybe you can make your own meaning out of it. It would, I think, be a peculiarity, disgusting experience. And most people say they prefer to remember the person as they were. I never saw either my parents or grandparents after they died, and it was never suggested I should. My mother saw my father the day after his death and said she wished she had not. By the time of the funeral, I don't like to think what it would have been like. That has gotten 2,300 views and 29 upvotes. Now the next answer is from David Reardon. He says, as many others have pointed out, the idea of leaving a coffin open for relatives or whoever in bracket to view the deceased is not common in the UK or in Europe for that matter. As to why the late Queen's coffin was not open to the public to see, it is not only for the above reason, but because we British do not need or indeed want to see out late monarch's body dead. Okay, sorry, because we British do not need or indeed want to see our late monarch's dead body because we accept their death as fact. Outside of that, the idea of seeing a dead body, especially that of a monarch in a coffin, is anathema to most of us. Wow, that's a very wonderful response. Now, the next answer is from Anne Williams, and it says, that's a peculiar American tradition. Our traditions go back over thousands of years, and we are not interested in changing them to suit the whims of former colonists. Who is the colonist here? I'm wondering. Britain colonized America. So who is trying to suit who here? Well, I'll leave that for Anne Williams. Now, the next answer is from Andy Hill, and it says, it's a culture thing. Here in the UK, we are more likely to go with the closed coffin in the church or crematorium. In my 71 years, I've attended many funerals and never seen an open coffin at a funeral, nor would I like to. In brackets, the open casket practice at funerals is more popular in some other countries as I understand it. When my father died at home in 1981, my brother and I received separate phone calls from my mother, and I, living nearer than him, arrived first. I went upstairs alone, spent a couple of minutes in the bedroom with him, kissed him on the forehead, and came back downstairs. My elder brother arrived shortly after and also went upstairs alone for a few minutes. A few days later, once the undertakers had done what they do, my mother, my brother, and I attended the funeral parlor. Once we had completed the formalities with the undertaker, he asked if we'd like to see my father, who was currently lying in his coffin without the lid in the chapel of rest. My mother said, yes, please, we like that. My brother and I exchanged a glance, but of course said nothing, and accompanied our mother into the chapel of rest. We'd already seen him within an hour of his death, and we didn't need to see him a second time, neatly packaged by the undertakers. But our mother wanted to see him one last time, and we were there to support her, of course. When our mother died about 10 years ago, age 92 in hospital, my brother and I were asked the same question by the undertaker. Without hesitation, we both said, no, thank you. A personal reflection, nothing more. Well, that's the much I can take for today. For this question for today, I could go on with it again. So let me see where I stopped. Alright, so please, if you're new to our channel, what I do here is to read my digest, my Quora digests, and try to make it a little bit fun for myself and for those who might love it. So please consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you.